Style, grace, and elegance aren't terms usually associated with modern American action movies. The genre is full of high-octane explosions, brutality, and bloodshed, but when it comes to the craft of filmmaking, they can often be unmemorable. John Wick changed all that. The Keanu Reeves-led revenge thriller is epically violent, but it's elegant violence, captured in a way we don't get to see too often. The characters' sharp suits and sharper shooting have left a huge mark on the action movie landscape, including in a few ways you might not yet have noticed. Here's how John Wick rewrote the rules for modern action. Low on ammo. To understand John Wick's influence on action movies, you have to look at the state of the genre in the years before its release. 7 years after the Bourne Ultimatum rounded off its own influential trilogy, the genre felt tired, full of same-old structures and stale premises. There were occasional gems, like the old man action of the first Taken or the Indonesian import The Raid. But for the most part, mainstream Hollywood action was plagued with insubstantial, CGI-heavy spectacle. Success stories were frequently genre hybrids, such as Lucy or Edge of Tomorrow. All-out action was reduced to the likes of A Good Day to Die Hard or White House Down. Movies like these feel like half-baked efforts, full of ridiculous spectacle that looks fake with no weight. Audiences were lulled into complacency. When John Wick came along and had the guts to send a puppy to doggy heaven, people weren't ready for the impact. I know gun fu. John Wick's biggest asset is its energetic implementation of gun fu. A mixture of kung fu and gunplay, the cinematic fighting style was first popularized by Hong Kong action director John Woo. Woo's movies helped create a subgenre of heroic bloodshed. These stories feature characters who value honor and integrity and follow strict codes of ethics. Often the protagonists will stop at nothing to exact revenge, with the resulting carnage made more palatable by the sense of morality we know they have. John Wick is part of this tradition, but what made it so different? Why did we become so attached to a blank slate nobody of a character we'd never met before?
That f***ing nobody is John Wick.
The Dance of Doom. Directors Chad Stahelski and David Leitch made their marks in Hollywood as stuntmen, most notably on The Matrix, where Stahelski performed as Keanu Reeves' stunt double. This boots-on-the-ground perspective gave the pair a unique perspective when it came to shooting action as directors. They saw that camera operators often regarded action sequences as stressful exercises in hiding imperfections. So they rehearsed and choreographed each scene with camera people included, leaving no room for surprises when it came time to shoot. For authenticity, the duo was determined to use as much footage of Reeves as possible. The actor performed the vast majority of the stunts himself, spending 4 months of pre-production honing his techniques. Training included Japanese jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, standing judo, and firearms training designed for close-quarters combat. The result is fight choreography that flows freely in a kind of brutal ballet. Violence in John Wick is so stylized that it comes off as a hypnotic dance, performed by a professional hitman and his unfortunate victims. Stylish shooters. John Wick proved these stuntmen-turned-directors understand much more than just fight choreography. The cinematography of John Wick is as stylish as the man himself. Criminal underworlds are supposed to be murky, gritty, full of dirt, yet Wick's world is saturated in otherworldly hues. His fights take place inside of exclusive clubs, ornate hotels, and mirrored museums. The fights themselves are stylish too. John Wick rejected the sharply edited, frantic action that has come to be a crutch in the genre. Instead, wide shots and long takes capture every punch, kick, and pistol whip. You're left wanting to re-watch the movie just to admire the ways its set pieces are staged. An underworld worth visiting. John Wick's world-building is unmatched in the action genre. The story takes place within an intricate network centering around the Continental, a hotel in New York City which serves as a safe haven for assassins. The universe is as detailed as it is original. Winston, the hotel's owner, is a charming and affable enigma with evident power. Outside of the hotel, special gold coins are exchanged for criminals-only services from seemingly legitimate businesses. Tailors offer bulletproof suits, and sommeliers are experts in pistols instead of Pinot. It's an underworld you can feel intimately, even if it's never all that explained. Fight like Wick. Years on from John Wick's release, the ripples on the movie industry can be felt everywhere you look. Put simply, vengeance and well-done violence are very in. One heir of the style is Leitch's own Atomic Blonde, a spiritual sibling to Wick. Charlize Theron has even said she was inspired to dip into the Cold War-era action flick because of her admiration for John Wick. Leach then went on to up the action stakes as director for Deadpool 2. Another John Wick producer, Basil Ewanek, has said the combat in the 2018 Robin Hood was inspired by Wick, saying to Collider, "The stuff we're doing with the bow and arrow, it's the same thing that Keanu does with the gun." The producers of the remake of cult classic Highlander clearly have the same idea, hiring Stahelski to apply Wick's style to that movie's swordplay as director. In short, John Wick has inspired action filmmakers to up their game, with highly skilled assassin flicks starring men and women both. There's Jennifer Lawrence's Red Sparrow, Taraji P. Henson's Proud Mary, and Jennifer Garner's Peppermint, a revenge thriller that's been described as John Wick with a female protagonist.
I will kill every one of you. And then I'll pretty much wing it from there.
Checking in? John Wick's flair for world building has also spread across the action genre. The Hitman's Bodyguard includes an assassin underworld similar to Wick, and the Jodie Foster starring Hotel Artemis has a premise that's heavily reminiscent of The Continental. That movie stars Foster as the manager of a hotel which doubles as a safe space for criminals to seek medical treatment and lay low. In other words, the telltale marks of John Wick are now everywhere, and there are no signs of the phenomenon slowing down. Wick's stylish action has smashed the proverbial sledgehammer into conventional genre fare, unearthing a winning formula. The Boogeyman has changed the action movie, and he's only getting started.